Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be doing this melted skeleton look. First things first, we need to clip back this mane. Before we get started, I'm going in with the toner all over my face just to prepare it for the paint. Next, I'm gluing down my eyebrows in the direction that the hair grows, making sure they're nice and flat to the skin. Once the glue has dried, I'm using a powder puff to press on some loose powder so that my brows are ready to paint over, brushing off any excess. Now we're going to paint a base. I'm going in with this white water-based paint, outlining and filling in wherever there's bone. When painting over your eyebrows, make sure to use a pressing motion to get into any nooks and crannies. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, as it is just a base, and we'll be going over it later, so if it's a little streaky, don't worry about it. As you can see here, I'm using my fingers to lightly push on my face to feel the outline of my actual skull. This will make it look a little more realistic and natural. Once you've done that, repeat on the other side and go over any areas that might need a second coat. Next, I'm outlining the hollow areas of the face using the black eyeliner pencil. Once again, this doesn't have to be perfect, as we'll be going over it with paint later on. This is just to give us a general idea where the black will be. Using a ripped up sponge, I'm going in with this slightly off-white cream-based paint all over my face. I won't be setting the paint, as the stickiness will help the colours we apply later stay in one place and look more pigmented. Time for some colour. I'm starting out with a fluffy blending brush using this bright yellow eyeshadow. Place the colour wherever you want it to be and start blending from the middle outwards. We want it to be the most pigmented in the centre, fading out as you get towards the edges. You can either use the same brush or a fresh one to apply the next colour. Using this orange eyeshadow, I'm doing the same technique that we did for the yellow, blending from the middle outwards. I'm also blending the orange into the yellow to get an ombre effect and to transition the colours nicely. Next, I'm going in with this fluorescent pink eyeshadow. Once again, using a blending brush and blending it into the other colours. For our next colour, I'm using this light green eyeshadow. I'm only really blending the green with the yellow, because if I tried to blend it with the pink or the orange, it would just look muddy because it's so different of a colour. Next, I'm going in with this electric blue eyeshadow. eyeshadows, I found that they were really pigmented and a little bit goes a very long way, so you don't need much on your brush at all. Finally, I'm going in with my favorite color, which is this rich, gorgeous purple. I'm using the purple mainly as a transition color because it helps blend the blue and the pink really nicely and gives the blue just that little extra depth in certain areas. Going in with a flat, fluffy brush, I'm applying this white eyeshadow to the parts of the skull that don't have any color. This just really makes all of the colors pop, blends out any edges, and sets the cream base that we have underneath. Using this pointed paintbrush, I'm taking this black water-based paint to fill in the hollow areas that we outlined with the eyeliner pencil earlier. I'm blending the paint into my hairline just so that you can't see my skin as much, but you definitely don't have to do this step if you don't want paint in your hair. When I get to the eyes, I'm using a smaller paintbrush to do the very edges. This just helps me get a more precise line and get into those hard to reach places. Now for the part I've been dreading the whole time I've been filming this video. The teeth. Say a little prayer, grab the smallest, thinnest, tiniest microscopic brush you can find, and remember to breathe. Here we go. I'm starting with the top teeth using my actual teeth as a reference and working from the corner of my mouth towards the middle. Once you've done one side, it's a lot easier to do the other because you can just copy what you did. Repeat the same process on the bottom. Don't worry, you're almost there. Give yourself a round of applause because that was tough, but you made it through. And now you can breathe again. Using this small flat brush, I'm mixing this light purple and black eyeshadow to add a little depth and shadow to the skull. Using the same colors and this flat, fluffy brush, I'm repeating the process to add more shadows. Now we're going to repeat the whole thing, but on the neck. Starting out with our white water-based paint, I'm dragging the brush down from under my jaw. We want it to look as though it's melting down our neck. Using the ripped up sponge and the slightly off-white cream paint, I'm covering all the white to get ready for the colours. Repeating the steps that I did on the face, I'm using my fluffy blending brush for all of the colours on the neck. The main difference between the neck and the face is that for this we want to drag the colours down the neck just as we did with the white paint to make it look as though the colours are melting and running down. It's okay if the colours look a little muddy or mixed up this time because we're trying to get the appearance of them all melting and blending together. Next, I'm going back in with my flat fluffy brush and the black eyeshadow to create some depth, also dragging this from the top down to continue with the melting theme. Alright, now onto the messy part. And when I say messy, I mean it's going to get everywhere, so you might want to lay down some paper towels. I'm using gelatin that I just picked up from Walmart, mixed with different food colouring, and I'm dripping it all over my face and neck with a small spoon. Drip the gelatin wherever you want and just let it run its own course. The important thing to remember when working with gelatin is that you only get a small window where it's actually runny enough to drip down your face, but not so runny that it just absorbs into your skin. So you kind of have to work quickly. Obviously, you want to be very careful when putting the gelatin near your eyes and always test the temperature before putting it on your skin. Try to avoid getting gelatin in your hair because once it cools, it will rip it out if you try to pull it. The best way to remove gelatin is by using hot or warm water to melt it out. And there you have it, folks. This is our final look for our melted skeleton.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I'm now going to be taking this off for the next 2 hours-ish and then cleaning up all the mess I've made. Well, hope to see you next time. Bye! Gonna set off the frickin' smoke alarm. Jesus Christ, almost dropped it. Holy crap.